Hey guys, welcome to the Blue Review. Today we're talking about Twilight from Summit Home Entertainment. Twilight is a story of a 17-year-old girl named Bella who falls in love with a, quote, vampire. I say quote because the writer of the novel, Stephanie Meyer, basically reinvented the mythos of her vampire characters. Number one, they don't have fangs. Number two, they don't get staked through the heart. If you want to kill these vampires, you have to rip them apart and burn them, which I felt was really excessive. Like, way too excessive for this kind of novel, but apparently that's the way it is. And they can walk out in the sunlight, except they glitter like a fucking gay cowboy at a discotheque looking for cock. So, you know, that's not good. Overall, though, the movie is basically a romance story. And as a romance story, I don't think it works. It feels sort of awkward and sort of herky-jerky, clunky. It doesn't have a fluid motion, and you don't really feel like the two characters fall in love as much as they're just sort of thrown in together, and you're just supposed to accept it. Now, if you've read the book and you can fill in the gaps, maybe it makes it seem a little bit more fluid to you, but for me, having not read the book, I just didn't get it. Also, Kristen Stewart's performance in this movie was horrible. She felt more like a girl that had Tourette's and was trying to hold it back all the time, and then at the end, she became all swim fan on his ass. And it was just kind of like, whoa, slow it down. I'm not a commitment phobe, but geez, you're even rushing too fast for a fucking vampire. I mean, slow it down a little bit. There were things about it also that were just outright hilarious. Like every time he ran, I mean, it was worse than when Clark Kent was chasing the fucking train in Superman. There were things about it that didn't work. And there were things about it that did. There were a couple of scenes really between the two principal characters that really worked well. And I wish they would have had a lot more of those. But unfortunately, they didn't. Other than the character of Edward, which I thought Robert Pattinson did a fantastic job with. I really liked his character, and I really liked the performance that he gave. He took what probably would have been a basic one-dimensional or two-dimensional character, and he really sort of breathed a lot of life into a character who's supposed to be the living dead. I really thought he did a great job, but unfortunately, everybody else in the movie just didn't have much to work with. All the other characters felt one-dimensional, as if they were just merely set dressing there to kind of move the story along. I felt like the director, there was one particular scene where, the only scene where they're in Edward's bedroom, I felt like the director didn't just let that organically grow. Instead, she tried to force something through editing and close-ups, which I think really kind of ruined the moment. I think overall, the directing in this is only sort of partially there. A lot of it, I think, is probably her fault in terms of the herky-jerky clunkiness of it, and the inability to just sort of let a scene be, as opposed to trying to manipulate it through music or editing. But whatever. I didn't like Twilight, but not because of the story, and not because of the characters. Even though I didn't necessarily grow to enjoy them or like them or care anything about them, what really sort of the two greatest sins of this movie is that it felt flat and it was boring. And I just, that's the thing. If you entertain me, I don't really care what kinds of things you change or what you do. I just didn't feel like this movie was entertaining. I didn't feel like it had anything to say, and I certainly didn't feel like it captured the romance of these characters. Overall, I thought it was about a 2, maybe a 2.5 out of 5. Picture quality on Twilight was really fantastic. I'm giving it at least a 4.5, maybe even a 5. The landscapes in Oregon and Washington and the places where this was shot, I mean, they say it's Washington in the movie, so I'll just go with that. Particularly all of the picturesque landscapes in it really shine, and the greens of the forest are just so bold and so kind of rich in the high-def version that obviously this is the one to get. It's just a fantastic transfer. It has a really good audio track, and I felt like the sound, the actual score of the film was all-encompassing, and I really enjoyed it. So definitely, if you're a fan of Twilight, if you love the books and you like the movie, definitely the Blu-ray version is the one to check out. That's it. Peace!